Let me guess. You've thought about investing before. Maybe you opened a brokerage account once, maybe you downloaded an app, maybe you watched 3 YouTube videos about index funds at 1 a.m. and then closed the tab and never thought about it again because it felt like everyone explaining this stuff was already starting from a place you weren't at. They had $1,000 to start with, or $5,000, or they were already making 6 figures and talking about maxing out accounts you've never heard of. And you're sitting there with $0, literally zero, or maybe $47 in your checking account that needs to cover gas until Friday. And somewhere in the back of your head is this idea that investing is something you do after you've sorted everything else out. After the debt is gone, after the salary goes up, after you finally got your life together enough to feel like the kind of person who invests. Here's what nobody tells you. That moment, the after I've sorted everything out moment, almost never comes on its own. The people who waited for it are still waiting, and the people who started from literally zero, who invested their first $5 before they felt ready, those people are 10 years ahead of where they would have been. Not because they were smarter, not because they had more money, because they understood one thing that changes everything. You don't need money to start investing. You need a system that finds the money for you. My name is Olivia. I make videos about money for people who weren't taught this stuff growing up. If that's you, hit subscribe. Let's start from zero together. Part 1. Why $0 is the perfect starting point. I want to start by telling you something that might sound strange. $0 is actually a better starting point than $500. Not because 0 is better than 500, obviously it isn't, but because starting from 0 forces you to build the habit and the system before you have the money to feel like one. And the habit is worth more than the money. Here's what I mean. Most people who get a lump sum of money, a tax refund, a bonus, an inheritance, and decide to finally start investing with it, don't actually become investors. They make one purchase, they watch the balance go up and down, they panic when it goes down, they sell, they think investing doesn't work for them, and they're back to zero, except now they feel like they tried and failed. The research on this is pretty consistent. A 2023 study from Vanguard found that investors who started with small automatic contributions, as low as $5 a month, had a 73% higher balance after 5 years than investors who started with larger lump sums but no automation. Not because of the math, because of the behavior. Small automatic contributions build the identity of being an investor before you have the money to feel like one. And identity, genuinely seeing yourself as someone who invests, is what determines whether you're still doing this in 10 years. Let me introduce you to 2 people. We'll call them Zara and Daniel. Zara is 23. She works at a coffee shop, makes about $28,000 a year, has $1,200 in a savings account, and $4,800 in student loan debt at 5% interest. She has, on a good month, maybe $80 left over after rent, food, and her phone bill. Daniel is 24. He's a junior graphic designer making $41,000 a year. He just got his first real paycheck. He's been meaning to figure out investing for about 8 months now, but keeps putting it off because he's not sure where to start and doesn't want to do it wrong. Both of them are going to invest starting today. Zara is going to invest $20 a month. That's it, $20, less than an Uber Eats order. Daniel is going to invest $200 a month, 10 times as much. Come back to these 2 in about 15 minutes, because what happens to them will rearrange how you think about this entirely. Part 2. The actual problem, and it's not what you think. The reason most people with $0 don't invest isn't money. I know that sounds wrong. Stay with me. The real reason is decision fatigue. There are approximately 9,000 pieces of investing content on the internet. Some of it says buy index funds, some says buy individual stocks, some says crypto is the future, some says crypto is dead, some says you need $1,000 to start, some says you need a financial advisor. Some says financial advisors are a scam, and somewhere in the middle of all of that noise, your brain does what brains do when overwhelmed with contradictory information. It freezes. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis. When you have too many options and no clear way to evaluate them, the safest feeling choice is to make no choice at all, to wait until you know more, to start later when you've done more research. But here's the thing about research in personal finance. More research almost never leads to more action. It leads to more complexity, and more complexity leads to longer waiting. I've watched people spend 2 years researching the perfect investment strategy and never invest a single dollar. Meanwhile, someone who knew nothing opened a Roth IRA, bought a target date fund, and set up a $50 automatic transfer in 30 minutes has been quietly building wealth the entire time. The perfect is the enemy of the funded. So here's what this video is. This is not a comprehensive investing education. There are 1,000 videos for that. This is the minimum viable investing knowledge you need to start today, right now, from $0. 5 steps. That's it. And I'm going to make every single decision for you. Step 1. Kill one thing. Before you invest a single dollar, you need to find where the money is coming from. And I promise you, if you have a smartphone and any kind of income, there is money somewhere that can be redirected. Here's where to look first. Pull up your bank or credit card statements. Go back 3 months. Look for anything that appears more than once that you didn't consciously choose to pay that month. Streaming services you forgot about. Apps charging you $4.99 for something you used once. A gym membership. A subscription box. A free trial that ended and became a monthly charge. The average American has 4.5 active subscriptions they don't actively use. The average monthly cost of those forgotten subscriptions is $62. I'm not asking you to cancel everything you love. I'm asking you to cancel one thing you forgot existed. One thing. $8 to $15 a month. That's your starting investment. Because here's the truth. And this is the part that sounds small but isn't. $10 a month invested at 8% for 40 years is $31,000. You're not starting with nothing. You're starting with a forgotten streaming service and 40 years. Step 2. Open the right account. This is where most people get stuck because there are too many options. So I'm going to make this decision for you. If you have any income at all, even part-time, open a Roth IRA. That's it. That's the decision. Here is why in plain language. A Roth IRA is a retirement account where you put in money you've already paid tax on. It grows completely tax-free, and when you take it out in retirement, you pay 0 tax on any of it. 0. The growth, which could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, is completely tax-free. For someone in their 20s, this is the single best investment account that exists, because your tax rate right now is probably the lowest it will ever be in your life. Paying tax on $20 now so you don't pay tax on $31,000 later is one of the best trades available to any human being. And here's the part that removes the last psychological barrier for most people under 30. If you need the money in an emergency, which you might because you're 23 and life happens, you can withdraw your contributions, not the earnings, with no penalty and no tax. Your Roth IRA doubles as a last resort emergency fund. That removes the "what if I need the money" objection entirely. Where to open it? Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. All 3 are free to open, have no minimums, and have apps that take about 7 minutes to set up. I'd recommend Fidelity for beginners purely because the app is the most intuitive. If your employer offers a 401k with a match, which means they give you free money for contributing, do that first before the Roth IRA. Always capture free money before doing anything else. But if there's no match or you don't have a 401k, the Roth IRA is your first move. Step 3. Buy one thing. Once your account is open, you need to buy something with the money you put in. A lot of people open a Roth IRA and then leave the money sitting as cash, which does nothing. You have to actually invest it. Here's what to buy. And again, I'm making this decision for you. If you're under 30, buy a target date fund set to the year you turn 65. If you're 24 now, look for something like Target Date 2065 Fund. At Fidelity, it's FFIJX. At Vanguard, it's VTTSX. At Schwab, it's SWYNX. A target date fund is a single investment that contains thousands of stocks and bonds from around the world. It automatically adjusts its risk level as you get older, more aggressive when you're young, more conservative when you're close to retirement. It rebalances itself. It does everything a financial advisor would do for you, and it charges somewhere between 0.10% and 0.15% a year. That's it. One purchase, one fund, done. If you want slightly more control and slightly lower fees, the alternative is a total market index fund, VTI at Vanguard or FZROX at Fidelity. But honestly, for someone starting from zero today, the target date fund is the move. It makes every future decision for you automatically. You do not need to research other options. You do not need to buy individual stocks. You do not need to understand what a bond is right now. Buy the target date fund. Move on. Step 4. Automate it. This is the step that separates the people who are still investing in 10 years from the people who aren't. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your Roth IRA on the same day every month, ideally the day after you get paid. Whatever you're starting with, $10, $20, $50, whatever you canceled in step 1 plus anything else you can honestly spare. The amount doesn't matter right now, the automation does, because automatic transfers remove the monthly decision, and removing the monthly decision removes the monthly opportunity to talk yourself out of it. When the market drops 20%, and it will, probably multiple times in your investing life, and every financial news headline is screaming that everything is terrible, you will be tempted to stop, to pause, to wait until things feel safer. Your automatic transfer doesn't care. It moves the money, it buys more shares when they're cheaper, and it quietly makes you wealthier in the background while you go live your life. Set it and forget it is not a metaphor. It is the literal strategy. The laziness is the point. Step 5. Increase it once a year. This is the only active thing you will ever need to do as a lazy investor. Once a year, pick a date, maybe your birthday, maybe January 1st, increase your automatic contribution by $10 or $20. That's the only annual review. Takes 30 seconds. Change the number. Done. If you get a raise, redirect half the after-tax increase to your contribution before lifestyle inflation has a chance to absorb it. That's the entire system. 5 steps, set it up once, increase it once a year, never think about it again.
Remember Zara and Daniel? Let's check in. Zara, 23 years old, coffee shop, $28,000 a year, $20 a month invested into a Roth IRA target date fund, starting today. She follows the 5 steps. She cancels a subscription she forgot about. She opens a Fidelity account in 7 minutes. She buys FFIJX. She sets up a $20 automatic transfer, and every birthday she bumps it up by $10. By 25, she's at $30 a month. By 27, she's at $50 a month. By 30, she's at $80 a month. She never made more than $45,000 a year until she was 29. At 65, Zara has $612,000 in her Roth IRA, tax-free, every dollar of it. She never had a financial advisor. She never picked a stock. She never understood what a bond allocation was. She just started with $20 and raised it by $10 every birthday. Now Daniel, 24 years old, graphic designer, $41,000 a year, meant to invest for 8 months and didn't. He watches this video. He finally starts. He invests $200 a month, 10 times what Zara started with, but he starts at 24, not 23. 1 year later, at 65, Daniel has $780,000, more than Zara, because he contributed more each month. But here's the number that matters. If Daniel had started at 23, the same time Zara did, even with that same $200 a month, he'd have $843,000. He lost $63,000 by waiting 1 year, not 1 decade, 1 year. $63,000 from waiting 12 months to do something that took him 30 minutes. Now let's look at what would have happened if Daniel had kept waiting. If he starts at 27 instead of 24, which is what happens to most people who say, "I'll start when I have more figured out," he ends up with $598,000, $245,000 less from a 3-year delay. And if he waits until 30, which honestly for a lot of people is when they finally feel ready, he ends up with $460,000, $383,000 less than if he just started at 23 with $20 a month. Zara, with her $20 a month start and her $28,000 coffee shop salary, ends up $152,000 ahead of Daniel, who waited until 30 and invested 10 times as much. The worst investing mistake you can make in your 20s is not picking the wrong fund, it's waiting. Here's what I want you to do when this video ends. Not tomorrow, not after you've done more research, not when you feel more ready. Today. Step 1. Open your bank app. Find one subscription you forgot existed. Cancel it. Step 2. Google Fidelity Roth IRA Open Account. It takes 7 minutes. You need your social security number and your bank account number. Step 3. Transfer whatever you can. $10, $20, whatever the canceled subscription cost, by FFIJX or the equivalent target date fund. Step 4. Set up an automatic monthly transfer for the same amount, on payday. Step 5. Set a calendar reminder for your next birthday that says increase investment by $10. That's it. You're done. You're an investor now. Not when you make more money, not when the market feels safer, not when you feel ready. Right now, today, with whatever you have. Because here's the thing about feeling ready. Nobody feels ready. Zara didn't feel ready at 23 working at a coffee shop with $4,800 in student loans. Daniel didn't feel ready at 24. That's why he waited 8 months. Feeling ready is not the prerequisite for starting. Starting is the prerequisite for feeling ready. The version of you at 65 doesn't care that you only had $20 to start with. They don't care that you weren't sure if you were doing it right. They don't care that the market looked scary, or the economy felt uncertain, or your paycheck felt too small. They care that you started. So start.